What is the cost of public corruption? I'm Charles Blaine, and this is Texas Tomorrow. So what exactly is the cost of public corruption? This is a question that I think about all the time. What impact does it have on the public that they are meant to serve? This white-collar crime that happens all the time, sometimes prosecuted, sometimes not. Often elected and appointed officials are given lenient sentences and not forced to pay full restitution. What impact does this have? Well, for one, I think it's apathy. People just stop caring. You see so many of these stories on the news every night that it's hard to get worked up about each one of them, although you still should, because it's no different than someone taking money out of your pocket. It's just that you elected these people and entrusted them with your vote. Then there's the cost that comes with public distrust. The breakdown of social fabric, social networks, social capital, the dislike of factions because one member of that faction is corrupt, and then the distrust of our institutions, which has steadily been on the decline, and rightfully so. But we have hard costs that we can look at too, and they vary from agency to agency and level to level. Local officials are typically more vulnerable, susceptible to corruption because of smaller oversight bodies, closer relationships with developers and vendors and contractors. There's often less media scrutiny on these bodies and weaker internal controls. From 2010 to 2020, over 50% of corruption convictions in the United States involve state and local officials. In 2023, the FBI had over 2,000 active public corruption investigations, with a large share of those involving local government. So it's pretty widespread. The DOJ says that local officials account for more than half of all public corruption convictions in the United States. And in a typical year, 300 to 500 local officials are convicted of corruption-related crimes. So it's a big problem. Texas ranks among the top U.S. states in total federal corruption prosecutions over the past decade, nearly 700 convictions, just behind California, Florida, and New York. Ed Couch's former city manager, who we've talked about on this show, and the mayor pro tem orchestrated a scheme to award a $6,000 marketing contract to a friend. $6,000 to federal prison. Fort Bend County KP George, who we talked about on this show as well, faces felony charges for money laundering and tampering with government records. Former mayor of Richardson was convicted in, I think, 2021 for accepting bribes and wire fraud tied to her land developer husband, and she was sentenced to 6 years. In Houston, this recently happened. Former COO Brian Busby and vendor Anthony Hutchinson were found guilty on 33 counts, including conspiracy, bribery, wire fraud, and tax fraud. So what are we going to do? Well, so far, we don't really do much. But it's up to us, because the misgovernment of the American people is misgovernment by the American people. And this is just a reflection of what we're willing to accept. So we do need to demand more. We need to demand more of our officials who are running for office and our officials who are in office. And when they do make these breaches of public trust, they need to go. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Texas Tomorrow. Please like, share, comment, and let us know what's going on in your neighborhood, because we'd love to talk about it.